Welcome to Imran Star Video, or as we call it, ISVI, the collaborative lens on Vancouver. Unfiltered, unscripted, and powered by community. We're not just a voice behind the mic. We're a collective of creators, thinkers, storytellers, and city lovers coming together to spotlight the people, places, and energy that make Vancouver what it is. From coast mountain skylines to neon-lit back streets, we're covering everything from downtown buzz to the untold stories shaping our scene. You'll find us exclusively on YouTube. No algorithms, no filters, just real talk. For behind-the-scenes updates and chaotic brilliance in real time, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. So hit subscribe, drop a comment, and help us grow from 100 to 10,000 and beyond, because this isn't just our platform. It's yours too. Turn it up. Get into it. Let's talk Vancouver. This is ISVI. Once upon a time, and by that we mean like 60 years ago, False Creek was less seawall date spot and more Mad Max, but with sawdust and asbestos. Forget the yoga moms, craft breweries, and people jogging in $180 athleisure. This place was all about hard hats, grease-stained overalls, and the gentle background hum of environmental violations. But how the hell did we get here? How did this once gritty hub of industry turn into the kind of place where people argue over the shade of their building's solar panels on the community Slack channel? Before False Creek was the setting for drone yoga, dog-friendly breweries, and $2 million condos with raw concrete aesthetic, it was loud, filthy, and smelled like someone lit a lumberyard on fire and then called it progress. This wasn't the curated coastal experience we know today. No, ma'am. This was industrial Vancouver, the gritty, grimy origin story your realtor conveniently left off the brochure. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, False Creek was Vancouver's beating, soot-covered heart. It was lined with sawmills, shipyards, ironworks, and factories that gave zero damns about environmental impact or noise complaints. This was where the city's working class put in long hours for low pay and even lower air quality. And the pollution? Oh, sweet summer child. False Creek was a toxic soup of chemical runoff, oil slicks, and industrial waste, casually marinating in the water like nature's version of a fast food grease trap. Neighborhoods like Mount Pleasant and Fairview were full of hardworking families living in modest homes, forever coated in a thin layer of industrial residue. And yet, this era was foundational. False Creek helped build Vancouver, literally. Still, by the mid-20th century, things were changing. Industry was pulling out, land was getting more valuable, and suddenly people started looking at this loud, polluted swamp and saying, what if condos? Every great transformation arc has its rock bottom moment. And for False Creek, that moment arrived with the grace of a dropped shipping container and the charm of a half-sunken barge. After decades of industrial hustle, the once busy waterfront fell into its post-industrial burnout era, complete with structural rust, economic depression, and the haunting sound of distant seagulls over shuttered warehouses. By the 1960s and 70s, False Creek's glory days were officially behind it, and not even nostalgia could save the sinking shipyards, literally. Urban planners started floating ideas. Could it be a park? A transit hub, a futuristic community with people-powered boats and zero emissions? What False Creek needed was a big event, a reason to clean up the shoreline, greenwash the past, and slap a modernist coat of paint over all that industrial trauma. And the city found its answer in Expo '86, a world's fair that would simultaneously celebrate transportation, distract everyone from the collapsing industrial economy, and lay the groundwork for the greatest rebrand since The Rock became Dwayne Johnson. If False Creek's industrial decline was its sad breakup montage, Expo '86 was the glow-up reveal. The moment the city burst out of the ashes wearing neon shoulder pads and saying, "I'm fine actually." Expo 86 wasn't just a World's Fair, it was a full-blown rebrand. Themed around transportation and communication, world in motion, world in touch. And False Creek, she was the main stage. Northeast False Creek was completely overhauled for the event. This wasn't just about hosting visitors, it was about staging a permanent transformation. But the real magic wasn't what was built for Expo, it was what happened after. Enter Hong Kong billionaire Li Ka-shing, who bought the Expo lands. Expo was a turning point. It launched SkyTrain, it birthed Science World, it put Vancouver on the map and made False Creek go from industrial dead zone to neighborhood with its own branded dog parks. It's giving. I once hosted a World's Fair and now I have a kombucha tap in my lobby. Expo wasn't just an event, it was a Trojan horse with corporate sponsorship. The grungy shipyards and factory skeletons were flattened faster than a developer's conscience, and in their place rose pavilions from 54 countries. After Expo 86 packed up its pavilions, False Creek didn't go back to sleep. It got a LinkedIn profile and started networking. Once the party ended and the international dignitaries flew home, the site was up for grabs. And spoiler, it got grabbed real fast. So yeah, Expo was a turning point. It launched SkyTrain. It birthed Science World. It put Vancouver on the map. First came False Creek South, a unicorn in Vancouver's urban planning history, built in the 1970s but reborn in the post-Expo mindset as a sustainable, mixed-income, walkable community. Enter Olympic Village, the crown jewel of 2010. Featuring waterfront views, LEED-certified towers, sleek bike lanes, the buildings boasted green roofs, rooftop gardens, district energy systems powered by sewage heat. Yes, really. And because no transformation is complete without a little digital sparkle, False Creek also began attracting tech companies, design studios, and innovation hubs. First up, the winners. It's a short but insufferably smug list. Developers, realtors, urban planners who now teach TEDx talks. Then there are the losers. Oh, they're plentiful and eerily quiet in the official brochures. Working class families, pushed out, artists evicted, and let's not forget indigenous communities, because apparently everyone else did. False Creek was built on unceded Coast Salish territories. Accessibility, also a myth wrapped in a slogan. You might have a green roof, but good luck finding affordable housing. False Creek became a playground for the privileged, a real estate fairy tale where the villain is anyone who dares suggest that maybe affordable housing shouldn't mean deeply discounted at $1 million. The new False Creek is curated, polished, and dripping with live your best sustainable life energy, as long as you can afford the $1.6 million starting price. Because while the buzzwords soared, the housing costs skyrocketed faster. Artists, low-income families, and marginalized communities were replaced by people who use community as a brand pillar. So yes, False Creek became a hub of innovation, but not just the good kind. It innovated luxury. It innovated exclusivity. Let's start with the Northeast False Creek Plan, aka Vancouver's next shot at pretending to do meaningful development. This plan aims to replace the Georgia and Dunsmuir viaducts. The plan includes a long overdue recognition of Hogan's Alley, Vancouver's once thriving black neighborhood that was demolished in the 1970s to make room for the viaducts. The city now says it's committed to working with the Hogan's Alley Society to bring back black cultural spaces, housing, and community leadership. There's growing pressure, finally, to involve the XWMuthQuayM, Squaxwada Mesh, and Salilwatal nations in planning and development. Sea levels are rising, weather is wilding out, and False Creek, with its water-hugging pathways and underground parking garages full of Teslas, is looking real vulnerable. Urban designers are now scrambling to future-proof the area with climate resilience strategies like seawall elevation, rain gardens, permeable pavers. Also on the horizon, pressure from younger generations, the ones who grew up watching their city become a live-action SimCity DLC they can't afford to participate in. If the city keeps letting profit dress up as progress, we'll get more of the same. But if indigenous leaders, renters, artists, and climate justice advocates get a seat at the table, we might just get a version of False Creek that lives up to the hype. The choice is on the table, and so is the vegan charcuterie board. And there it is, the full False Creek transformation arc, from industrial grease pit to innovation-themed Instagram set. And hey, if nothing else, at least the view is nice while we all contemplate late-stage capitalism from the edge of the seawall. You've been watching ISVI, Imran Star Video, where voices come together and the city speaks back. We're a crew, not a single face, a movement, not a moment. If this episode hit, pass it on. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Drop a comment and tell us what your Vancouver sounds like. From 100 to 10K to wherever this takes us. When we get there, we all show up. So until the next drop, stay loud, stay collective, and stay in it. This is ISVI, signing off.